How's it going? Welcome to KX on the Go. I'm Tyler Flipson. The Burleigh County Sheriff's Office says several people are getting phone calls that appear to be scams. The department says the callers are impersonating employees from the Sheriff's Office and are asking people for money. Burleigh and Ward County law enforcement also recently warned of a jury duty scam in which scammers pose as deputies and tell people they missed jury duty and have to pay bond. The Sheriff's Office will never call anyone to request payment over the phone or ask for money or personal information. If you have any other questions, call your local law enforcement. A man already serving time for a deadly shooting in Minot has now admitted he stole the gun involved. Court records show Jonathan Dakota pleaded guilty Friday to theft of a firearm, a Class C felony. He was recently sentenced to 5 years in prison after pleading guilty to manslaughter in the death of a 19-year-old Dorian Thomas. Investigators say Dakota told them he was handling a gun when it went off accidentally, killing Thomas. According to a police affidavit, that gun belonged to someone Dakota lived with. Ring camera video from July shows him leaving the house with what appears to be the gun hidden under his clothes, even though the owner told officers it had been locked in a safe. On the theft charge, a judge ordered Dakota to serve 2 years of a 5-year sentence at the same time as his manslaughter sentence. Court records say the gun will now be returned to its owner. Governor Kelly Armstrong is declaring this week as a time to be safe on the farm. This comes after decades of accidents in which people have been buried and suffocated by grain. Armstrong is declaring this week as Grain Bin Safety Week. In the governor's statement, he says it only takes seconds for a person to be buried in flowing grain and be stuck in a situation with no oxygen. Governor Armstrong says in the last 50 years, there have been more than 900 grain bin accidents in North Dakota. More than half of those cases have been deadly for farmers. The governor is urging farmers to educate others about the dangers of working around grain bins and try to create a safer working environment. Good morning, Andre.
And good morning to you too, Tyler. And looking here in Williston at this time, we are seeing a temperature right now of 33 degrees and the winds are out of the east now about 33 miles per hour. So those winds are gearing up at this time. And as we get into the Magic City, we are seeing those partly to mostly cloudy skies too, with a temperature of 28 degrees and the winds are at an east-northeast at 15 miles per hour. Now we are expecting a winter storm to move on in over the next 24 to 36 hours, and that is going to be bringing us the rain, snow, and windy conditions here across our neck of the woods, and some thunderstorms are going to be quite possible as well. Now as we get into our current storm team radar, we're continuing to watch those mostly cloudy to cloudy conditions building on in with some freezing drizzle and flurry activity going on in Canada, and this is just going to continue to move its way towards the north over time. Current temperatures right now are mainly in the 20s and 30s, exception there in Bottineau at 18 degrees, and our winds are out of the south and east about 10 to near 35 miles per hour there around the Williston area. And as we get into our wind gusts are increasing too, of around 25 to 50 miles per hour, including there around Williston at 44 miles per hour and 48 miles per hour there in Plentywood. So we're really seeing these gusts increase at this time, and our high for today will mainly climb up into the 30s and 40s and perhaps even a few low 50s in our extreme southern counties. But once we get into tonight, temperatures will drop on down into the 20s and the teens. Now we are going to be watching our area of low pressure here that's currently in Montana, and that's going to be giving us the rain ahead of it, and then we're going to be seeing the cold air filter on in, and that's also going to be giving us some windy conditions and snow potential here across our neck of the woods. Now we do have a plethora of winter alerts to talk about. We have this blizzard warning in effect for our north and eastern counties in Montana. We have that winter storm warning and winter weather advisory in effect for our northern and central tier counties respectively, and this goes in effect later on today and into our Wednesday, and this is where we could see that really good accumulating snowfall and potential blizzard conditions. And also we are expecting some thunderstorm potential near our Bismarck and capital city area, and also into Mandan and even even along and east of Highway 83. And this is where we could see some thunderstorm potential, and it's going to be non-severe. So that's something to really consider here. Now looking at our precision cast, this is 8 o'clock this morning. This is where we're going to start seeing some sprinkle to light shower activity in our third tier counties. That's going to be moving its way towards the north. But by the time we get into around 1 in 5 o'clock this afternoon, that is where we're going to start seeing some thunderstorm potential developing in our eastern tier counties. And then we're going to start seeing that transition to snow in our northern tier areas between 6 and 9 o'clock tonight. Some snow may be heavy at times, so that's something to keep in mind here. And that is going to continue to move its way towards the north and east. And it's just going to be quite an impactful storm, folks. So we're going to be watching that very closely. And then things start to improve once we get into Wednesday evening. The amount of snowfall we're expecting in these northern tier counties could be as high as around 3 to 6 to potentially near to 3 to 7. So we'll be watching that very closely. And also we have that wind advisory in effect for our south and western counties throughout the day today. And that is where we could see wind gusts as high as 30 to 50 miles per hour and even continuing potentially into our Wednesday and into our Thursday. So that's something to really keep in mind here. And here in Williston, we will see those temperatures drop down into the 20s by Wednesday, single digits by Thursday, and then climb back up into the teens as we head into our Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then 20s as we head into our Monday. Here in Dickinson, we're going to be seeing those temperatures drop down into the 20s for our Wednesday, teens for our Thursday, and we will see the temperatures fluctuate between the teens and 20s Friday through our Sunday, and then 30s as we head into our Monday. Here in the Magic City, we are going to be seeing those 30s today, 20s tomorrow, then teens as we head into our Thursday, and they will fluctuate between the single digits and teens as we head into Friday and into our Monday. And here in the capital city, we're going to be dropping down into the 30s for our Wednesday, teens for our Thursday, and fluctuating between the teens and 20s as we head into our Friday and into early next week. So it looks like conditions are going to be wild over the next 24 to 48 hours.
A box of chocolate of conditions for sure. Thanks, Andre. And thank you for watching KX on the Go. I'm Tyler Flipson. Let's have a day, folks.